seed visiting the Saints coming off of their NFC South championship, and then part 3 between the Browns and Steelers. Let's take a look at the best of that matchup wired, courtesy of our friends at NFL Films.
I love how stale these environments are. It's just you got to be a football lover.
All right, 6. Let's have some fun. You trust those eyeballs, okay? And be you.
All right, let's go. Get ready to rock and roll. No, dang it! Oh, my God!
Oh! Corey, can I get a new headband? It ain't working, boss. It's got to be the headband and the wristband.
It's got to be one.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Let's go, defense. No first down. None. Let's go, O.
All right, we got to go, boys. Come on now. Let's go do our job.
Feel free to score a touchdown, Tom.
Come on, let's get this money.
Yes!
Hey.
Nice job.
Oh, I love winning.
We love this matchup, this rivalry. TD Kinkabwala, take it away.
Rich, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger spent last week on the couch, resting his body and throwing to nobody but his 3 children. Earlier this year, I'd asked Roethlisberger, at the age of 38, what sort of physical adjustments did he need to make? He said that these days, he throws with his entire body, not just his arm. And so I brought that up to him a few days ago. He smiled. He said he feels 100% different than he did even a few weeks ago. He said his legs feel fresher, that his knees feel stronger. And he said he absolutely expects that to translate. When I talked to tight end Eric Ebron yesterday, he said you can see a different vibe in Roethlisberger. And so with that, I will send it to you, Kurt, and ask you, do you think that Roethlisberger is rusty or ready?
Dee, I think Big Ben is going to be ready for this game. And not just the time off to make the legs feel fresh, but you also have to remember the last time he was on the field, the second half against the Colts, I believe was his best half of football all year long, bringing his team back from 24-7 down, feeling invincible, making throws down the field, a la Big Ben from the past. So I think he's feeling good. I think he's rested. I think he's confident in where they can go offensively. And I think he's going to be ready when they show up tomorrow night. Now let's head to Tom Pelissero in Tennessee for the big playoff rematch between the Titans and the Ravens.
Look, Kurt, Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown did not practice at all the past 2 days because of hand and knee injuries. But Brown said Friday, I've got breath in my body. I'm going to play. Expect him to get a normal workload. And, of course, the Ravens will also see a heavy dose of the 2,000-yard man, Derrick Henry, who ran for 195 yards on Baltimore in last January's playoff game and 133 in the rematch in November. So how do they get this guy on the ground? Linebacker Matthew Judon told me you've got to be a willing participant. You got to front him up, chest him up, lead with the shoulders, and be about that life. At that time, it's either you or him. Mooch, how do the Ravens slow down Derrick Henry?
Yeah, Tom, it's not going to be easy, and you mentioned it last year in the divisional playoff game. Derrick Henry rushed for 195 yards as they upset the #1 seed Ravens. So the front office of the Ravens say, we got to get a little bit more stout up front. So they went out and signed a couple of Pro Bowl defensive linemen, Calais Campbell, who also made it again this year, and Yannick Ngakoue. All right, and now this defense is second in the league in scoring defense. You mentioned that 133 yards this year. Calais Campbell did not play in that game. So right now with these guys healthy, this team is a little bit more ready and equipped to slow down Derrick Henry. And now for more on the Bears and the Saints, let me send it over to Stacey Dales in New Orleans.
Well, Mooch, speaking of running back, Saints running back Alvin Kamara 2 weeks ago on Christmas Day runs for a whopping 6 touchdowns against the Vikings. And then, unfortunately, a week later, he's sidelined with COVID. He is officially eligible to return Sunday. All signs point towards that happening. So you might wonder, what has he been doing all week? Everything has been virtual. That means Zoom technology. All of his meetings, the installs with coaches and teammates done via Zoom. And then how cool is this? They've been able to live stream him into practice, if you will. They have have a video camera. He's able to see everything. His counterpart in the backfield, Latavius Murray, said this week, we basically WebEx him in. He can hear all the coaching points, the talking points, the feedback. And by the way, Sean Payton, the head coach, says he's one of the smartest players that he has ever coached. He had 163 scrimmage yards against the Bears, Michael Irvin, back in week 8. How can he do on Sunday without practicing? Literally.
Listen, this man here leads the league with 21 scrimmage TDs. He gets those with speed, quickness. Things, people, you do not lose with a week off, and great vision. He still have that speed, he'll still have that quickness, and he'll still have that great vision. And they will need it today versus those Bears, because those Bears, they do come hard on defense. Speaking about guys that need to be ready, playing and playing great. This guy right here, Cole Beasley, the Bills need him ready and playing great. Great to see him warming up.
It's that team in this stadium that stands in the way of Tom Brady in his first game in the playoffs as a Buccaneer, his first game in the playoffs as anybody but a New England Patriot, and it could be Taylor Heineke instead of Alex Smith, an Old Dominion quarterback who's one of the all-time greats not only in that school but in Division I football in terms of he threw for 730 yards against New Hampshire, which is a Division I record to this day. He took it into the pros. We had a cup of coffee once for Ron Rivera's Panthers, and then in week 16 for Ron Rivera's Washington football team against Ron Rivera's old team. So, Kurt, when it all comes down to it tonight, how do you get Taylor Heineke ready for Shaq Barrett and JPP and the rest of this defense that when it's on point, you saw what they did to Aaron Rodgers? What do you think?
Well, this is obviously, a tough situation here, and you can talk about a lot of things that you want to talk about, but what we've been talking about when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Tom Brady on the other sideline. And so Taylor Heineke going in, Alex Smith isn't there. You knew this was going to be tough going in because of what Tom Brady was doing offensively. Now you see the GOAT on the other sideline. Right. If you get into your first playoff situation, that is not going to be easy. You're going to feel like you have to play and make big plays and keep up with the greatest that's ever played the game. This is going to be very, very difficult because I even felt with Alex Smith in there, they were going to have to push the ball down the field and make more big plays than they're accustomed to making. So now put a young quarterback in there that's never been in this moment, that has to handle that, make the right decisions, but also make big plays. I mean, I feel like it's a tough situation for a young kid if he gets thrown in there.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I started earlier talking about pressure and how it makes the good fold and the great focus. I mean, I don't even know what to expect. The type of pressure that's on this kid today, right here, to step in here. They were talking about platooning these guys, bringing Alex in, bringing him in. And I thought, okay, that's because they want to make sure, because Alex will get him in the right place, but maybe this kid goes up the field, try to get some bigger plays, and they